Well, the next step here is to put the floor flange in place for the toilet. This is a floor flange, and this is how the toilet actually is held in place to the floor. Now this one that I bought has a stainless steel rim around it. You can get a one-piece plastic one nowadays, and you can also get them with a longer tail if you wanted them. But this is designed to anchor the toilet to the floor, and it will then connect up to your waste pipe. Now this one is designed that it will take either a 3-inch or a 4-inch drain pipe. If you use a 3-inch, it will slide inside. If you use a 4-inch, it'll go over the outside. A 3-inch waste pipe is standard for a toilet, but some people want something bigger, so you do see some lines that are 4-inch, but that's not necessary here in our home. So I'll be putting a 3-inch up in through here. It'll be solvent welded so that it won't leak, and then that'll take it down through to eventually to the septic tank. But what I have to do is put this in. It's not difficult because I have a wooden floor. All I need to do is I'm going to use these 2-inch galvanized drywall screws. You can see there's 6 slots to put them in. If you have a floor that's concrete or tile, it's a little more involved because you have to get anchors that will go into the tile or into the concrete to anchor this in. But you have to have your floor flange in place to hold the toilet so that it can't move and so that it's a solid connection. Now the other thing, if you look on here, this is slotted on both sides. Get rid of that price tag there. And part of the slotting is more narrow and part is wider. That's because there are 2 bolts that come up through these, and then it goes through the base of your toilet, and you have a nut that it tightens it down. That tightens the toilet down on top of it. The wider part is because you have, when you put the floor flange in, you can slide the bolts down. They have a wider head, a rectangular head, and then you turn them sideways, slide them over to the narrow slot, and then they can't come back up through. This is designed so that you can change them out if you need to. Sometimes they corrode over time, so you can, or if perhaps you're changing the toilet, you want a different style or whatever, you can get them out and put new ones in without having to remove your floor flange. So I'm going to put the floor flange right in the hole here, and I know that my toilet has the 2 holes for the bolts on either side. So, and they're both equally the same distance from the wall. So what I don't want is I don't want to put this in so that the wide openings of the floor flange are where the bolts are going to come up through or they won't hold. I have to turn it somewhat like this so that I can put the bolts in and turn them so that they're right where they're going to come up through the hole of the toilet, and it'll anchor it down tight. You'll see that when we get to doing that part of it with the toilet. But for right now, all I want to do is put the floor flange into the floor. It's running through 1-inch thick floorboards, the old floorboards here. And as you can see, I'm getting a good bite, and it will hold it steady. The toilet will not move. It'll be stable on the floor, and there won't be any problems. I'm also using the galvanized drywall screws for corrosion resistance. And there it is. It's not going anywhere. It's good and solid, and it's ready to receive the toilet. We'll probably do that tomorrow. All that's left, basically, I need to flip the toilet over, put the wax seal gasket on the bottom, and put the bolts in here and set it on there, tighten down the bolts, and it is fastened in its position. It won't be moved from that point on. So that's the first step in putting the toilet in. Thanks for watching. We'll keep you up to date.